Today is morning, again at Monday, 28 April 2025. I'm still struggling for my conference again. Still speaking English and got confirmation also by international. I can take say definitive challenges for about this community and trust actually. And definitely made informations for public. We going to against each other. I could take say about America actually. Definitely being identified as a whistleblower, similar with that whistleblower. And contact also say I'm not kind of recognizing, actually not kind of familiar about United States of America as friends or trust connections and case actually. I don't know, seems kind of confusing. And I just talking here again about intimidations still happening on this morning. That's why also I made my conference and context also is kind of about a reward case also, which meaning by me need to be explained again and again for about the situations, for about the experience, for about the connections, contact happening on my ordinary also. Context because also these actually kind of zones on real that are potential not to be trust. Definitely need alibi, very needed, and I need to make the conference every day. Okay, that's the first beginning of this conference. I'm in contact. Say I'm definitive enemy also because I'm not really known, not kind of familiar, but about the networking actually, but about the internet social, or about the users also. That can be suddenly become my enemy actually, context similar with that. And that's also for about United States of America. Context perhaps I need to be wonder also, and I still be intimidated until this morning. I context suspect which made intimidation on this morning also actually on alibi for their activity by United States or their connections also. Kind of jerk but are still being suggested to make conference report by English speech, and context is also kind of about internet global. Some people just jealous to my pioneering case because I use the internet actually. Not kind of ordinary by them, and definitely shocking, and want to cancel, want to carry it out because I'm very progressive about my pioneering case through internet. That's also my confirmations on this morning day. Meanwhile also I've got contact say this actually connection on the friendships United States on my neighborhood domiciliary address, and that's kinda betrayer community which non-responsible actually for about friendship. I contact say this actually chronology for my friendship actually since my high school, since my childhood also, which not being recognized by me as the actually white skinned peoples, or perhaps they just turned become Indonesian peoples, or about their race already not similar anymore, like a mutant, not white skin anymore, but they're still white skin families actually, and they say they're actually the one that made intimidations also. They're ethnic local, and I'm definitive on potentials being blamed, being manipulated, because actually their connections actually the United States of America, which I'm already supporting for about my project, for about my case on my internet. I need to make the conference context similar for that, so cannot be confusing for my status actually, because I'm pioneering case that's blaming them actually. They're similar with triad or gangster, but actually there are also connections to United States or about white skin. I'm being suggested to carry out my pioneering case on internet, context because also their own interest to make the situations as ordinary, or meaning also for not giving reward case to name it one Cornell. This just ordinary activity, and they already made negotiations without me, because also they're actually neighborhood each others. They include to the ethnic local, but perhaps not understand or thinking about catching suspect, which meaning include also the white skinned peoples for the community. Actually kind of confusing. Context say I'm actually not recognized for their attitude, for their background families. They're actually also Islamia through Arab, but they're actually include to my ethnic or Indonesian peoples. That's not similar anymore for their physically, biologic. Not similar anymore. Context therefore about the Christian community, which goes to about local ethnic also, and therefore about United States of America. I contact say that's actually an alibi also to Metallica, international legendary bands, groups, and that's also about Guns N' Roses. I can take say that actually can be reached, can be contacting through this moment opportunity. It's kinda about loving my ordinary context. Actually I own relations case to about my parents also. Papa di Bana Merdeka and my mother, Madam's Latina. Not kind of simple, but already struck, already sabotaging my ordinary. They're definitely not kinda good people. So meaning also bandits actually, but not very similar when I got them as real meat on my ordinary. My contact still happening, still crowd, definitely push me as bandits for made criminal, for yelling somebody, for made my argumentations, for blaming the situations, conditions, contact, supernatural happening. Which meaning is similar with indigo, similar with autism. That my context is actually definitive true, not fake. They are definitive already near, and definitive want to betraying my case for my claim alibi. They just made very many reasons, and I just think the situation's some kind fata morgana. I context say I need to carefully, because this actually non-nationalisms situations. There definitely include also governments or economy, because actually want to stroke, want to eliminate my parents' historical, monumental, and iconic legendary. Papa Divana Merdeka and Madame Slatina. Both of them as general actually, supreme and iconic also, about their status as parents of Insignor Sukarno, or about this millennium also, put them as chambers, authorizations of my country. I just receive for meaning also assumptions, or just want to claim case by this moment progress. I got contact also is kind of variable and on potential for about assumptions. Actually, nearby, similar actually. That kind of friendships actually. But similar with criminal tactic, or about betraying friendships actually. And can be assumptions similar with connections or syndicate for this moment case regress. That includes also the United States, America. And they say they are similar with underground metal music community also, and also artists or entertainment world, or about sponsorship company similar with that. They're actually latents for the statement on ordinary friendship, and I just on case on problematica for about the criminal attitude. And they say I'm kind of good personality, that's why also not kind of bad personality. That's actually also a problem, but I'm not recognizing about that, and therefore about money, my secure internet, my internet claim, my reward case, or about my project similar also. definitive problem or not very welcome by their community. Kind of slicky actually, very bandit. Context. I need to conference about this because it can be confusing if I'm not made the report through this moment friendship day. This actually friendship. All of us are potentials to become friends, and that's going to be problem also if I not made my conference report to recognizing about the case about my secure internet. What I'm meaning for about my project. And that because also I already made the claim very many also on internet. That need to be sustained even that's already specific or kind of freak to become conference because on the explanations kinda local attitudes or habits. I got contact actually also that include internet global for meaning also about the ownerships internet even the own domicile address to my country Indonesia, such as also Facebook or about YouTube, Google and another. I perhaps not understand about this because I'm definitely struggling my situations contact body supernatural, which meaning can be confusing, and that's going to be complicated also because about the status include United States of America or about internet ownership or so whom or social media, social networking, internet, such as also Facebook, and Google, Blogspot, YouTube, and another. My context said kind of progressive, very there to against ordinary norm, such also for about the community criminal also. I could say that actually also include so about ordinary friendships or about betraying each other. And still happening until this morning. I got contact actually. I still on situations kinda pretending for become my friendship. definitive loving my ordinary. Actually, there isn't peoples, and I'm being intimidated by this method supernatural, and I'm being contacted. That's actually reasoned by them for some kind freak attitude, criminal by them. I already been confirmed to Alien Family International. My contacts say also about that. And definitive the situation not to be respected by them also. Because about politics or meaning also about my parents. Actually, I'm definitive being stuck alone in here, where I believe I'm definitive being recognized, being understand for about my statement. The situation definitive happening, but just suddenly I need to realize I'm alone in here. There isn't peoples actually. I'm just talking by myself. Very method if what I'm saying on this moment truly case, truly an alibi, by peoples. I want to say about that on this moment morning, and suddenly this experience getting silent, seems not crowd anymore on ear. This contact kind of made statement to me, made terror, and context say also this tale about human rights. Definitive I'm being stuck about that. Struggling self as Black Youth International also for about human rights. As sample also to United States, America connections, terror or challenger on this day. Context saying this actually for betraying international also by United States also and their peoples through countries. But about this case, these situations, this phenomenon, that's actually about I've got contact message similar with that. Seems a kind of visual audio also. Even angels can be seen through my experience contact body supernatural on this morning. I'm definitive can see their very sound themselves. Fucking asshole. It's definitely not ordinary. Very freak for me, and I'm definitely kind of introvert or some kind indigo, which very many, based my context says, very many indigo on United States. So many autists are similar also with me. But I believe there's actually conspirations that can be busted because social already conversations about my internet also. I'm definitely on alibi, and the situation's definitely not kind of freak indigo. Perhaps similar about that also, but survived. I can prove about my case, about my indigo. And this actually since 2008 already sabotaging social, and there also for about case by case which already being reported on police office actually. I already see for the commentary video, courtesy for about the prank video also on internet. That's actually also alibi. I've got contact. This actually for growing internet global, say similar with that. This also actually for about my parents' status include as owner of internet global. We just need contacting each other, and that's also tools, method, supernatural, which not being recognized by me actually since my life was to be until this day. And we just need to progressive contact similar with that. But I want to answer about that also. I'm definitive stuck in here, and definitive on clue going to be poor because about this case for the rest of my life. No money for me because this kind of blunder for proving about my secret or about my money or about my status as part for the escalations, constellations, families. Context said definitive is actually criminal, which on chronology basic actually for about vendetta to my parents, Papa di Bana Mordecai and my mother, Madam Slatina, since years to years before, which made legacy for about name internet to their child, to their son and daughter, that's already growth, definitive already old peoples on this day, on this millennium, on these years, on this progress for about my claim internet also. Let's context say that's what about also YouTube and Google and Friendster and Flickr, Yahoo Messenger, Yahoo Mail, Blogspot, social networking and website and Lotus also. That's about Microsoft Windows. Even that's also about the Intel Pentium and etc. These are actually families. Context I'm definitive also part of families. Internet global, but seems I'm not very recognizing about the situation because these families actually already not similar anymore on this day when their childhood was to be as children of my parents. They already live, they already own domicile address, not in my country anymore. They already through countries, their own domicile there, their own status as Stockholm ownership to internet global. And therefore about my case which I'm looking for actually really confusing, kind of freak. I just got intimidated because about that definitive latence to my ears is contact very racist and say I'm definitive humans from Indonesia country not similar with white skin or similar with Asia peoples also. There's also about India peoples and they're talking also about religions, Christians and Buddha also, about Islam also. Kind of complicated and I just struck in here definitive blank and just being pushed to my internet claim. That's about my internet claim. That's what they say to me. My parents definitive going to be called telephone. That's from his son and his daughter to countries. But should not think as similar as families. Context this actually not families anymore. And that's why also I'm being black goat, being blackjack also for about the situations, kind of relations also for them to local ethnic on my neighborhood. They're actually members of Internet Global for about social networking also. They're actually local peoples that own freak religions, freak community for faith, similar with faith, actually not actually Christian, or perhaps for another explanations to about faith. Kinda surprised actually. Him in commanding goes from grave, but sadly context said that actually include to Internet Global, the Indonesian domestic internet to whom authorization that actually United States peoples, but they're actually on releasing families to me, to my parents. Fucking asshole. Thanks God I'm survived for my thought, for my mindset. I'm still not crazy, okay? Perhaps I'm some kind indigo already since this progress. I got contact that aren't alibi for fronting actually to Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose, and Ivan Slash and John Metallica. They're actually Microsoft Windows. They're actually Lotus. For about Interpentium. For about Facebook, Google, and YouTube. And actually the one that I'm looking for this reunion coincidence to about my parents which not being informed to me, and I just talk in my case. Him in commanding goes from grave. Context I'm kinda lead guitar in here, kinda drummer in here, but I'm definitely not made a band in here. There's in persona in here, or tools, equipment, such as a guitar, or drum, or turntable. There's in here. Would you believe for that? I'm definitely surprised in here, okay, since yesterday. That's my contact. Also, very secret. Very surprised, very wonder also. Need alibi and context say my parents does not want to talk about that. My parents just colleague for my government. They include as one family. That's also for about Australia or about Indonesia Christian for me. My ethnic, my colleague, my local problematica also for explain about that. Okay, I think that's all for now. My context need to close for a while. And we're going to continue again next time for this conference confirmations international reunion. Because we got alien family on United States and also Asia and Arab Islam International and Council of Israel also. For conversation, of course, for alibi, for next step to this opportunity moment. We own faith, we own God, and definitely for being proof by this progress, and that's kind of challenging for the situations. Case about him commanding ghosts, for about their Nikki others also, such also Jehovah, or about Voodoos, or about Hindu or similar with that, about berbegiat, they say berbegu ganjang, begiat. Similar with jelangkung or local vampire, and not similar with that also. Thank you very much, and we're going to meet again. And I hope I can be understand because this kind of defiance for the transformed, not very confident actually. I'm not terrorist, okay? See you again. Shalom. God bless you, God bless us, and wassalam alaikum warahmatullahi. Bodhi Satya Om Swantiasu.